This video is going to tell you all about the Bolt score, what it is, how to practice it, and why you should be doing it. So what is the Bolt test? Standing for Body Oxygen Level Test. One thing to remember is that it's not really a test. It's more about a check-in for your overall health and your state of being towards your biochemistry, your biomechanics, and your physiology. What the Bolt test is doing is essentially showing you your level of breathlessness. The harder we breathe, the harder it is for our bodies to work. The lighter we breathe, the easier it is. The more at ease we are, the more exercise becomes easier for us. Our body is less strained and our body is working more efficiently using less energy. So the Bolt test, or the Bolt score or check-in, is essentially just a way of seeing how your breath is doing. It's important to remember that this can change from day to day and throughout the day. Ideally, take this test in the morning before you get out of bed, because you're rested and hopefully your breath is at a more regular pace, which is going to demonstrate to you a more accurate reading. Depending on how your day was before or how your week has been, your test in the morning will be different from day to day. And it can be different from day to day for many, many reasons. So really, it's a great way to check in with how you're doing. If you've been out all night, had lots of alcohol, you will find that you are very breathless in the morning and your test will be lower. If you have been having a more calmer week, a more steady, regular week, you've been doing really well with kind of food and exercise and mindfulness and whatever it is that you have in your life, you may find that your score stays relatively the same, maybe even improves depending on what you've been doing. It's important to point out that doing a regular breath practice can help improve your Bolt score. And again, it's just a way of checking in to see how you're doing. So how do we test the Bolt score? What you do, hopefully before you get out of bed, find a regular breathing pattern, feel nice and relaxed. Make sure you have a timer next to you. When you feel ready, after an exhale, so you'll breathe in, breathe out, pinch the nose, and hold until you feel the first definite signs of wanting and needing to breathe. Now that could be you're already feeling breathless, or your mind is telling you that you need to breathe, or perhaps your diaphragm starts to flutter a bit. Any of those signs means you need to let go, take a regular breath in. So if you breathe back in and sniff, or you feel a bit more force than normal, then you've held your breath for slightly too long. It can take time to practice this test and feel comfortable with it. So don't worry if you breathe in a bit heavier the first few times you do it. Gradually, you'll become more and more used to it and you'll know your first signs of needing to breathe. So what does the score mean? Ideally, to demonstrate that we have a more functional breath, so we don't have too many kind of breathing disorders within our breath pattern, we want to have a score of 25 seconds or above. Now, most people don't have 25 seconds and above, but you can work towards that. If you have lower, don't worry at all, don't panic. I've got some videos on the channel that will help you. We'll put them in the link and there'll be more coming out after this video. But ideally what you'll do is work on your biochemistry and your biomechanics to start breathing a little bit easier. One slight misconception is that if you start exercising more, your breath will get better, your breathlessness will decrease. Not necessarily true. If you have dysfunctional breath at breathing when you exercise, your breath will also be dysfunctional. We need to get our breathlessness lower in a general state of being when we're just moving around, and then that will transfer over into exercise. Now, what I'm not saying is don't exercise, but by doing the breathing practices specifically, lighter breathing, breath holds, getting the ribs moving, then in time, your breathlessness will reduce. 25 seconds is our aim that will demonstrate that our breathing is a little bit more functional and there's a few less disorders. But like I say, don't worry, this can be improved by working on all three of those aspects, by breathing lighter, by doing breath holds and opening up your ribs, all of which I have videos on my channel, which will be linked in below and perhaps up in the video. Also, of course, to help improve our breath, we need to breathe in and out of the nose. So if you want to know any more about that, I've got a video on my channel talking about nasal breathing, and there's also a video coming about mouth tape to help you nose breathe at night. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been useful. As always, please like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with any new videos that are released, and I hope to see you soon.